Hi, welcome to Jeep Budget Builds. I'm John. Behind me is my '07 Jeep JKU. Just wrapped up a stereo install on it. We chose one of those cheap knockoff models for $35, and we're going to take a walk through of the install. So this is our front mounted camera here, tucked behind the grill, out of harm's way. Points down just over top of the front bumper. This way I will be able to see stumps and rocks as I pass over them. It's pretty easy to pop out a couple of these plastic screws, pull the grill forward, and just mount in the camera to some existing plates and wires that are already there. We ran our wiring up the side, zip tied it in nicely here. This here is the camera power. The other one here is for the video itself. Came up the side, driver's side, and then in through an existing firewall hole already to the right of the brake booster. My Jeep has a spare delete kit on it, so we installed the rear camera into the aluminum plate cover on the back using a step drill bit, and then we cleaned up the edges of it using a carbide bit on a Dremel tool. In the passenger side rear of the Jeep, you'll find a white with gray stripe wire. This is the wire you want to use to power the camera. When you turn the key on, it does take a couple seconds for the unit to power up. Once it does, you get this display, and once it loads, then it goes into your home screen. From there you can pick whether or not you want your FM stereo or auxiliary or your movie player. I hooked my front camera into the auxiliary feed through a switch I can turn on and off. This is a picture of the front view of it. Then when you put it into rear view, it will go from the stereo or whatever you have it set on automatically to the rear view by shifting into rear or reverse. The biggest issue we ran into was along the bottom and the sides. Because this is a knockoff unit, it's actually a couple millimeters bigger, or a millimeter bigger than the factory bezel. So using my oscillating tool with a sanding bit, we're able to take a little bit off and make it fit. Okay, so does the product work? Yes, the product works. My front added camera is very nice, so I can see over the stumps and rocks when there's just two of us out on the trail, so we don't have to be out spotting constantly. The rear camera works just fine. I need to get a little bit better angle on it downward on the thing. FM stereo works great on the thing. The MP3 works good on it. Bluetooth works good for music. As far as making phone calls and stuff goes, it's terrible. The sound in it, I can't be heard at all. When I'm sitting still, it works fine, but when you're driving, there's so much road noise that you can't be heard at all on it. I cannot get my phone to mirror to the stereo itself. That's not a big deal to me on a thing. So all in all, was it worth the $35 plus the install kit? It took about 3 to 4 hours for me to install this totally, with the sanding of the factory bezel to get everything to fit, and drilling of the holes in the rear in order to fit the cameras in the thing. Not bad. Had I gone with a brand name, everything probably would have fit a lot better and saved some more time on it. Would I buy this again? This was a good quick fix for me for getting something better than my factory stereo. However, next time I would definitely spend the money on buying a brand name stereo, just because there is not a lot of help with this thing. Even wires don't match up between stereos. When I was trying to mount the rear view camera, figuring out which wire on the stereo triggered the camera was difficult, because it wasn't what they sent in the paperwork on it. So all in all, it's not a terrible stereo. It'll do what I need it to do, but next time I'd go with a brand name. So thanks for watching. I'm John. This is Jeep Budget Build.